Hi guys! For those of you coming back, I think there are some people still yet to join in. Welcome back. I am Priyanjali for the uninitiated, and we are back with our afternoon yoga session. So hope you've had a good rest of the day, rest of the morning. One benefit of doing your yoga in the afternoon is that your body will, of course, be a lot more released than a very super early morning practice. So you can get a little bit more into holds to build strength and flexibility. And that's precisely what we do in these short 30-minute classes. As I always mention, hope you're sitting on a padded surface, a mat, a towel, a dari, a carpet. And without further ado, we're going to get started. Let's start in an easy cross-leg position. You could sit this way, you could take a half lotus. For our advanced practitioners, you could even take a full lotus. If you find difficulty sitting straight up in this manner, grab a cushion and slide it underneath your sacrum, underneath your buttocks. And let's relax the shoulders. And let's gently close the eyes to begin our practice. Start to soften the eyelids. Maybe you can gently roll your eyeballs to the back of the head, not too much, but just enough to soften the inner gaze. Relax the jaw. If you find yourself clenching your teeth, release, let go. And begin to take deep breaths in and out through the nose. So as you're inhaling, visualize the breath moving in through the back of the throat, all the way into each and every bronchial cavity of the lungs. As you exhale, follow the breath back out and visualize the breath moving out with comfort, with ease. And let's take a few more deep breaths in the same manner. And use this opportunity as you're breathing in and out to set your intention for your practice today. And this could either be the same intention as the start of the week or maybe a brand new one today. Something that you can carry to your life beyond the yoga mat. And once you have your intention, mentally repeat this intention in your mind. It's a short positive affirmation, a personal promise to yourself, which is bound to come true as long as you choose to stand by it. And now slowly start to bring your awareness to the center of the chest. Visualize this intention just sinking deep into the center of the chest along with the breath and spreading across all the organs, spreading across each and every cell in the body down to the bones. And now slowly start to draw your awareness further down towards the expansion and deflation of your abdomen. Take a couple of deep breaths in, long breath out. As you inhale, we're going to inhale, expand the abdomen out, send the navel out, visualize the breath moving to the base of the stomach. Exhale, draw the navel in, completely breathing out. We'll do this 4 more times. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, contraction. Inhale to expand. Exhale, draw the navel in. 2 more times. Inhale, expand the abdomen out. Exhale, draw the navel in. And last one, inhale, expand the abdomen out. And exhale completely. And once you're here, just return back to your natural, effortless breath. Take a moment with the eyes closed to notice if this breath is any different from the breath that you started the practice with. Let's take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. And then from here, we're going to begin our asana practice with our vibration therapy, our start of the practice with either an Om that we will chant at the start, or if you do not wish to chant Om, we can always make a humming bee-like sound on the exhalation, basically a humming sound. And we will do that together. We'll take a deep breath in, we'll do that once. So let's all inhale together. If you're at home, I really encourage you to still do this. I know that I'm not physically there, but it really, believe me, makes a difference to start and end the practice with this. So let's inhale together. Let's start to rub the palms together. Once your palms are slightly warmer, place them on the back of the neck. You can massage your shoulders. You can even crisscross the arms and just massage the opposite shoulder and down the arms, and it's release. Great. So adding on to yesterday's practice, like I mentioned, we had full moon coming in, because of which we had a much more restorative practice, and we will again start our practice with a forward fold. It may not be as restorative as yesterday, but we will again focus on conserving and restoring energy. So let's start with our child's pose once again. So like I mentioned yesterday, bring the base of the big toes together, separate your heels slightly, and rest your hips down into the heels. Let the forehead rest on the floor. If this is too much, or you find yourself hanging halfway up here, feel free to just have your fists stacked one over the other. You can set your head there or get a cushion or a block to rest your head on. Take a deep breath in. And for those of you who don't have a block, I'm sure you have a cushion or a pillow. If you don't have that, just grab a book and place it underneath your face. Anything to elevate the surface. We'll take one more deep inhalation. Take a moment to close your eyes. Let your hips sink into your heels. Our forward folds are a great way to just turn within, and we all know how much we need that in our practice, in our daily lives. So take a moment to just check in. Ask yourself, how am I feeling today? Scan your body, ask yourself, where do I feel that there is some extra tension that I might be holding? Where is that particular part of the body where I tend to hold more tension? And start to breathe into that part of the body, releasing. And as we begin our mindful practice, we're going to inhale, look forward, exhale, take your palms towards the right and slightly shift the hips to the left and sink the hips down into the floor. Take a deep inhalation, complete exhalation. We're trying to stretch out the left side of the body, so actively press both your shoulders down towards the floor. If your left shoulder lifts up, gently pull it down to the ground. If this isn't deep enough for you, place your left palm on top of the right and then pull your left shoulder down. And then inhale, walk the hands to center. Exhale, we'll take the palms towards the left, and again we want to just gently sink the right hip slightly to the right side. Lower the right shoulder blade down. Again, you wish to deepen, then take your right palm on top of the left. Pull the right shoulder down, sink the head, sink the body down. Feel that stretch on the right side of the body. And I invite each and every one of you to really visualize your breath flowing into the part of the body where you're feeling the stretch. That really allows us to have a mindful practice. And then inhale, return back to center. This time as you exhale, we're going to take this right hand and slide it underneath. So it's a thread the needle variation for child's pose. Now what you can do is come onto the tips of the fingers of the right hand and just start to open out the chest. Now this may look different on your body. You might just be here. If you're here, then just come onto the tips of the fingers and slightly pull the elbows away from the floor. And this is a good place to be. If you want to go deeper, you can always open out. But notice how my right hip lifts up, so we don't want that. So I'm going to actively draw my right hip down as I open my chest to the right side. One more breath here. This is our twist for the day. And then inhale, extend the left arm forward. Exhale, slide the right hand underneath. Come onto the tips of the fingers with the left palm, and we just turn over to the other side. And again, just let the head rest on the floor, the right side of the head. At any point, if you can't touch the floor, again, make sure you're elevating the surface of the mat by placing a cushion, a block, or a book under your head. One more breath here, and then inhale, extend the hands out. This time, as you exhale, interlock the hands behind the back, and then inhale, pull the knuckles away. Now, it doesn't matter how far away your knuckles go. Maybe they go all the way up perpendicular to the floor. Maybe they're just out here. Wherever you are, bend the elbows slightly, and let there be some softness around your elbows, around your arms. What we want to focus on is that the front of the shoulders stretch out. So notice how I have the range of motion to come here, but I'm not doing that. I'm just going to take a little less of a stretch. That's a personal choice for me. Just finding a space where I find adequate stretch and just hanging there for a few breaths. If you're somebody who likes to take a full stretch, feel free to do so as well. As long as you can take deep breaths in and out, that is most important. And then let's inhale to slowly lift the hands all the way back up. And then as you exhale, release the palms. From here, we're going to cross and come on to sit on our bum in a cross-leg position back to our Sukhasana. And let's take a few rounds of cat and cow. So if you were sitting sideways, you could actually continue to sit this way. It's perfectly fine with the palms on the knees. And we inhale to expand the chest forward. Exhale to round the back. So I'll turn this way. Just notice how my shoulder blades will roll down as I inhale. Exhale and round the back. Again, dropping the shoulder heads away. So try not to scrunch up the shoulders. Release. Inhale one more time. Expansion. Exhale, round back. And now from here, as you inhale, pull the chest forward. Take your chest towards the left knee and then the right. And then as you exhale, pull yourself back towards the right and left. So we're creating big circles with the chest, and in the process, really moving the spine vertebra by vertebra. Now let's switch sides. So we just went clockwise, so now counterclockwise. The other way around. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Great. And from here, let's come back to center. Now take your right palm next to the right hip and slide the palm, bringing the right elbow down directly under the shoulder. Now extend your left arm up, stacking the joints one over the other. Inhale. Notice how for some of us the knee might be up here. So I invite you to just slightly press the knee down. And as you exhale, reach the fingertips in line with the left ear. Now we're going to add to this micro movement. So what we did the last time was we focus on the right shoulder, and instead of scrunching it, we pull that away for a micro movement. Let's add an additional micro movement to turn the little pinky finger down towards the floor so that your triceps start to turn in towards your ears. So the muscles right here, we're going to rotate inwards. Breathe here, pull the chin away from the chest. It's a pretty intense stretch. So if at any point your neck hurts, then watch out and notice which position is comfortable for your neck. So take another deep breath in and out. And then inhale to extend up. As you exhale, gently come back. Great, we do this on the other side. So inhale, rest the left elbow down underneath the left shoulder. Extend the right arm as you inhale. Exhale, reach the palm again. Keep your arms nice and arrow straight. Turn the pinky finger down to the floor. Pull the chin away from the chest. Your right shoulder is pulling back, almost as if you're leaning against a wall behind you. Your left shoulder is drawing away from the left ear. So there are a lot of instructions, almost as if you really pay attention and use the sense of hearing, then you can almost close your eyes and do this practice. So continue to breathe. It further allows, personally, for me to turn inwards if I do my practice with my eyes closed, but that's just a personal choice. free to do what works for you. And then let's inhale, extend back up, exhale, and come back to center. Great. From here, we bring the soles of our feet together, coming into another butterfly. And we're going to today take the palms to the knees, turn the fingertips inwards. Now again, if you're not sitting up tall and you're rounding your back, then you can press the heels out, sit up tall, bring the back of your neck in line with the base of the spine. For those of you already pretty flexible, pull the heels closer to the pelvis for a deeper stretch. Now, as you inhale, slightly shift the weight back, looking up. As you exhale, pressing slightly forward with your palms. We're not pushing it down, it's mostly the weight of the hands. If you notice sideways, I'm not rounding my back, but rather just leaning forward. My sacrum, the part where the tailbone meets the spine, has lifted off the ground. Then inhale, coming back, leaning back into my sacrum, looking up. Exhale, lift the sacrum off the earth and lean forward. This time, we're going to come back to center and see if you can turn the right fingertips out. Now, those of you with shorter arms, like me, you might be able to completely straighten the arms out. Some of us may be here where the arm really doesn't straighten, or the knee is up here so it doesn't allow us to straighten the arm. Whichever case you are, you want the arm to be straight. So if you can't do this, make a fist and hook the wrist in front of this right knee. Now, inhale, drop the right shoulder forward. So you're literally putting the right shoulder forward. And as you exhale, look over the left. Breathe here, another twist just to get us started in our afternoon practice. And then inhale, return back to center. Exhale, bring the right fingertips in. We do the same thing on the left side. So either here or pushing the knee down. Inhale, drop the left shoulder forward. Exhale, look over the right shoulder, coming into a twist. This is a lumbar twist, so we start to feel the stretch around the lower back and the middle back. Inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, let's extend both the legs out, coming into our Paschimottanasana. So here, we're going to sit up tall. This may not be easy for a lot of us. So again, if it isn't easy, grab a cushion, slide it underneath your sacrum. Let's inhale, extend the arms up. As you exhale, come halfway through and keep pressing the lower ribcage forward, but try not to overarch the back, so we still keep the spine nice and long. If you can notice, my back is long and not overarching. Ears and arms in line. Take a deep inhalation, pull the toes in, press the heel out. Take one more breath in, and then as you exhale, release your hands wherever they reach on the leg. It could be the toes, it could be the ankles, the shin. Roll the shoulder blades down wherever your hands reach the foot. Look forward, take a deep inhalation. And as you exhale, think about your lower ribs and start to draw your lower ribs down towards the top of the thigh. Not the nose to the shin, but ribs to the thigh. You will find that juicy spot where you can feel enough stretch for the back of the legs without compromising the length of the spine. So once you've reached that spot, just hang in there for 3 breaths. Let's all breathe together. Ekam, Dve, Treni. And then inhale to extend both the arms up. As you exhale, release the hands, shake out the legs. We're going to cross the leg. Take the palms forward and come into our first downward facing dog of the day. So if you want, you can walk the dog, which is bend the right knee and then the left. And then bend both the knees maybe if that feels good. And then continue to take your feet hip distance wide, palms shoulder width wide. Those of you who haven't joined us in the last few days, as I keep saying, press your heels into the floor. And if your knees don't straighten here, your hamstrings are tight, or for any reason if they don't straighten, then not to worry. You can still keep pressing your hips back and press your ribs into the thighs like so. So notice how the back should be long. At no point do we want to compromise on the length of the back. If you can take full down dog, come here. Let's inhale, take both the knees down. Exhale, bring the chest and chin down, hugging the elbows close to the body. Keep the tailbone lifted. Notice here how you have your chin, 2 palms, 2 knees, both the toes and your chest on the floor. So 8 points of your body are in contact with the earth right now. Hence, this is called a Shtanga Namaskar. And then untuck the toes, inhale, lift into a cobra. From here, we're going to work around the lower back. So start to press the pubic bone down into the floor. Press all 10 toes down into the floor, including the pinky side of the foot. And then release the hands, bring the palms by the sides of the hips. Take a deep inhalation. Notice how my neck is long, so I'm not lifting up like so, but just look down to the floor. A good way to manage this is to look at a point where your yoga mat meets the earth, center of the mat, and just keep your drishti, your gaze there. Take a deep inhalation here, hold it there, exhale slowly back down. Now brace yourself, we're going to lift the upper body and the lower body. So now as you inhale, lift the legs up, lift the head. Notice how my head and my legs are in same line. So a lot of us get enthusiastic and lift the head a little too high. We don't want that. We want the leg and the head to be in the same line. Look forward, keep the back of your neck long. Keep pressing the pubic bone slightly down. The tailbone is slightly tucking in, almost as if the tailbone is trying to point towards the back of the knees. For those of you who are already feeling this, feel free to always take a break and come down on the exhalation. For those of you who can hold on with me, continue to breathe. And for those of you who think that this isn't challenging enough, start to spin your inner thighs upwards and you'll really start to feel it around the leg muscles. That is another one of our areas we'll be covering today. Take one more deep breath. And then as you exhale, release. Take the palms by the sides of the ribs. Inhale to lift up into a little cobra. So you could take a higher cobra if you're comfortable. Excuse me. And as we exhale, we're going to take child's pose or counter stretch again. You can take a relaxed child's pose, which is stacking one fist over the other. You can take an extended child's pose. If you are extending a child's pose, make sure you bend the elbows, rest them down to the floor, release. Counter stretches are extremely important when we take our back bends. Back bends are more extension of the spine. This is flexion, so take a few deep breaths here. And then from here, we're going to slowly lift back up all the way. Now, since we're doing an afternoon practice, a word of caution, I really hope that you don't do these back bends with a full tummy full of food. We definitely want to have at least 90 minutes prior to the practice our meals, because we're doing midday practices, so I thought it should be important to highlight. Also, if you have any conditions like slip disc, please write to me. I will tell you variations. You can write to me on Yoga with Priyanjali, because again, flexion of the back is not always recommended for slip disc, which is what we will be doing today. So just keep that in mind if you are somebody who's had that. We're going to come all the way up onto the mat now. Let's come into a wide-legged position. So we're going to actually turn the toes outwards. And again, slightly bend your knees to make sure that your second toe falls in line with I should keep a check on time today, in line with the second toe in line with the knee. And we turn the toes out. Notice how my knees are directly over the ankle. We're going to tuck the tailbone. So I have to give you a sideways view. Note, a lot of us, we come into this pose, Kailash Asana or goddess pose, and we end up doing this where we really jut our bum out for the hypomobile, hyperflexible yogis. So draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone, and notice how the back of my neck is stacked directly over my lower back. So we want to do that. Those of you still holding this, kudos, it's not easy. We're going to stretch out the arms. Take a deep inhalation here. Now as you exhale, twist to the right, but without moving the leg. So if your leg comes forward, pull the left leg back, twist, keep that belly nice and strong. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left, keep pulling the right knee back, don't let it move. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, we'll reach both the arms up. Inhale here. Exhale, just move over to the left. This might be the right for you. Inhale back to center. Exhale the other way. Inhale back to center, guys. Hold it there with me. We're going to extend the arms forward. Try not to give up at this point. We're going to cross the elbows and interlock the arms. Right elbow on top of the left. So we're crossing above. Inhale. Lift both the elbows up. As you exhale, slightly sink deeper. See if you can. Inhale, slightly come up. So don't straighten the knees all the way. Exhale, we've got this. One more. Inhale, take the left over the right. Let's inhale to lift the elbows up. Exhale, sink a little lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Excellent. From here, inhale, release the hands to the hips. Exhale, straighten the legs out. Great job. I know that wasn't easy. Now we're going to turn the toes slightly in so they're not entirely parallel to each other. The toes are slightly in. We're a little pigeon-toed for this one. Inhale, lift the chin and chest up. As you exhale, come halfway forward and try not to lock your knees here. So while we want to pull the kneecaps up, what we don't want is this happening. A lot of times we end up doing that, and that's a knee injury. We want a little micro bend, and I'd rather that you pull the kneecaps up and press your weight into the outer edges of both your feet so that the thigh muscles engage. That's a much more sustainable practice. Now we're halfway there. We're going to extend the arms forward. And again, notice how my stomach, I'm not dipping it low, but I'm pulling my belly in, zipping my belly up, keeping that core nice and engaged. Inhale here. If this is too challenging, slide yourself to a wall and place your palm on a wall and do this. One more breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, bring the palm all the way down. Now again, if your hands don't touch the floor, just take a little pause right now. Go and grab a bottle, a book, anything that will elevate the floor, and then rest your hands on it. Try not to just dangle here. I'd rather that you set your hands down because we're going to let the crown of the head drop all the way down. And then just ease out the back. So this may look very different for you as it does on me. So just know that the end goal is not the way the pose looks, but how it feels. So let's notice where we feel that. Let's slide the palms back. If your hand is on an object, come onto the tips of the fingers and start to pull your weight forward towards your toes. So again, if I move sideways, I am not here, but rather I'm pulling my weight forward, so my weight is over the toes. If you can get deeper, bend your elbows so that your wrist is stacked underneath the elbow, and let the crown of your head drop down. Now this is where we get deeper into our Prasarita Pada Hastasana. That is what this pose is called. It's a mouthful. Now, a lot of people will tell you about the stretch, and you'll do the stretch and you'll feel it in the back of the legs. Allow the head to, or rather the circulation to rush the top of the head. Continue to hold with me, but now let's start to strengthen the legs. So I want you to imagine that you're holding a beach ball between your thighs and that you're squeezing that beach ball. So while you have your weight on the outer edges of the feet, start to pull the thighs in towards each other. And let's experience that. Notice how the body responds. Notice how the breath responds to this. Take another deep breath in. A full breath out. Great. And then start to release that leg. Take regular breaths in and out. We're still allowing the blood to rush into the head. For those of us who are a little bit advanced practitioner, this would be a great time to take a little tripod headstand. So if you are one of those who've been practicing, then make sure that you stack your elbows right above the wrist. Let the crown of your head rest down. Draw the belly in, zip up the belly. Start to slowly lift up into our tripod headstand. This is only an option, guys. So those of you trying it without supervision, I really recommend that you try not to do that. Rather stick to what I just told you. That's a great preparation for tripod headstand. So we're going to continue to keep our legs splitting. It's easier that way. And then slowly sit yourself down. So this is just a mild starter, kick-starting for a tripod headstand. If you want to know more about this, write to me. We'll get into the details of it. And exhale, relax here. From here, we're going to inhale, take the hands on the hips. Exhale, come all the way back up. Great. And then you can jump to center, or you could heel toe to center. Nice. So from here, let's take our malasana, releasing the hips, releasing the glutes. We did quite a bit of glute work today and lower back work. So as you exhale, sink into your malasana. Now press the knees out with your elbows. Pull the chin and chest forward. And let's take a couple of deep breaths here. Long inhalation, complete exhalation. And then we're going to set yourself all the way down to the floor. We're going to make our way down onto the mat. And since we stretch out our glutes quite a bit, see if you can take your right ankle on top of the left knee. So our Supta Kapotasana or reclining butterfly pose. Now this might already be a deep enough stretch. So please everybody flex your foot and then place it on the knee. So that way your knee and ankle, knee joint and ankle joints are protected. If this is deep enough, as you exhale, press the right knee out. If this isn't quite deep enough, then lift the left leg up and grab onto the back of the left thigh. As you inhale, slightly pull the left knee in. As you exhale, slightly press the right knee out. Now, if you find yourself toppling over to one side, please just notice where your weight is. Try to keep your weight centered. You may even need to slide yourself next to a wall just to ensure that your weight is centered. One more breath here. And then we're just going to take the palms out to a side, slide this right leg in deeper, crossing the right over the left. Inhale, as you exhale, drop the knee to the left, look over the right. Relax your jaw, relax the stomach muscles, the muscles around the abs actually, or the abdominal muscles. And then inhale back to center. As you exhale, flex the left foot. Place it on top of the right knee, a little above the right knee on the thigh. If you're here, press the left knee out, and this might be enough for you. Or we grab the back of the right thigh. Now again, another variation, slightly easier, is to grab the back of the front of the right shin as well. So see what works for you. Make sure that your tailbone isn't lifting up. Place the tailbone down. So that's a good way, a good indicator to know whether you're ready to come to this point. If you are here and you feel that, okay, now I'm ready to lift the leg up, but your tailbone is lifting up, then I'd rather that you take the leg to a comfortable amount where you still have your tailbone on the floor. You can always use a strap and wrap it around as well. So that's not a concern. Tailbone to the ground is important. Press the left knee out, pull the right knee in, take another deep breath here. And then we'll slide this left leg in line, or rather over the right. Take the palms out, inhale and exhale. Drop both the knees to the right. Look over to the left shoulder, draw the left shoulder blade down. Soften the jaw, soften the abdominal muscles. And then let's inhale, return back to center. Exhale and cross the legs, and let's rock side to side. We can always make some circular rotations, easing the hips. And then let's take the palms underneath the bottom. So especially to protect the lower back. Extend both the legs up. Now again, if your knees are not straight, as you do this if you're here, then you can release the leg down. As long as your knees are straight, that's when we know the abs are working. So try to straighten your knees wherever you are. Relax the legs so they're neither flexed nor extended. And then as you exhale, we slowly bring them down. Resist gravity. 5, 4. Make sure your back doesn't go into an over-exaggerated arch. Keep pulling the navel in. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent job, everyone. We'll come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Take your palms by the sides of the hips. Relax the shoulder blades down into the mat. Close your eyes and surrender yourself to this short guided Shavasana. So begin to relax your jaw, relax the eyes. Let the back of your head sink into the mat. Take a moment to notice your right arm and start to relax the tips of all the fingers on the right hand. Allow the relaxation to travel up the right arm towards the right shoulder blade. Relax the right hip. Allow the space between the right shoulder blade and hip to release. Relax all the joints on the right leg, the right hip bone, the right hip joint, right knee, the right ankle, and release all the muscles of the right leg. Become aware of the sole of the right foot and let the back of the right heel resting on the floor get heavy and sink into the earth. Allow each and every toe to relax. And now bring your awareness to the left fingertips on the left palm and let the relaxation and awareness spread up the arm all the way to the left shoulder. Let the left shoulder blade sink into the earth. Visualize the space between the left shoulder blade and the left hip releasing. Relax the left hip joint, left knee, left ankle, and all the muscles that lie in between. Become aware of the sole of the left foot and each and every toe on the left foot. Release, relax. And now draw your awareness all the way to the center of your chest and notice the subtle up and down movement of your chest with each breath. Continue to observe this movement for the next few breaths as you surrender to Shavasana. The thoughts will fly in and out of the mind, but each time you exhale, just let them go. We're not repressing or stopping the thoughts. We are simply observing them and trying to not have an internal dialogue with those thoughts, but observation is welcome. And then begin to move your fingers, your toes. Join your feet together, stretch out the arms, inhale as you exhale, let go and release from the mouth. Bend both your knees, roll over to the right side and press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And we're going to close our practice with 3 loud chants of Om or 3 rounds of Brahmari, where we create a humming noise to seal in the benefits of the practice. So let's all take a deep breath in together. Let's rub the palms together, bring some warmth. And bring your palms to the back of the neck, massage into the shoulders. Let's bring our palms together and take them to the forehead as a reminder of clear, loving, healing thoughts. Palms to the center of the heart as a reminder of clear, loving, healing intentions. And palms towards the mouth as a reminder of clear, loving, healing communication. Definitely take a moment to bow your head down to thank yourself, your body, mind, and spirit for this practice. Take a moment of gratitude for this healthy body and mind. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. For any questions, feel free to DM me on Yoga with Priyanjali on Instagram or on the POPxo Daily Instagram account. And stay safe, stay healthy. See you tomorrow at 1. Bye.